just some basis to the audit report, and then he will take over. So the questions that we have, after he presents their opinion on our audit, or which they have actually indicated in the report for the 4 years running, you ask questions for clarifications. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a 4-year report from 2021. The current leadership, the national officers, took office in 2022. But the audit report for 2020-2021, it ended 2021 August. We took over that particular expenditure, and that was audited. And that is what is forming the 2021 as we have in the document. Then it continued from 2022, 2023, 2024, all duly audited. Now, somebody may ask, we are in 2026. Where is 2025? For that one, a statement of operations have been presented to the National Council, and normally, after that is done, then the auditors will come in and do the audit for that particular year. So 2024, ending August 31st, 2025, is now yet to be audited by our external auditors. That is why we have the 2021 to 2024 in this particular document that we have been presented with. And so in the document, you will have the contents which will be given as the corporate information report to the National Council, report of National Council, which is going to be presented to this House, then the independent auditors report, then the financial statements as we have it, the statement of final position, statement of comprehensive income, statement of changes in equity, statement of cash flows, notes to the financial statement, all you have in the document. Then we have the corporate information, then the message to members from the National Council on this report. Mr. President, at this juncture, I think the rest is for our external auditor to come and give us their opinion on the audit report for the 4-year running. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Mr. Treasurer, so I will invite the General Secretary to introduce the external auditor to the House.
Mr. President, the auditors for the Ghana National Association of Teachers, and specifically headquarters, the auditors for our auditors, or the auditors for the Ghana National Association of Teachers, and specifically the NAT headquarters is KPMG. And we've been working with them for the past 5-6 years. And we have here with us a partner who is in the person of Mr. Labaran, who will give the opinion of KPMG on the audited accounts for the past 4 years. So, Mr. President, with your kind permission, we invite Mr. Labaran to present their opinion for the past 4 years' work that they have done for us. So, Mr. Labaran, you are welcome. The podium is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thanks. Good morning, my brothers and sisters. For the record, my name is Labaran Amidu. I'm an audit partner with KPMG, and I'm also the partner responsible for the financial statements of NAT's financial statements from 2021 up till 2024, as we have in this pack. And I believe you all have copies of that. And then we have already presented these financial statements over the past 4 years to the council, right? Or is it? Yeah. So, but this particular one is just aggregated where we have all those 4 years financial statements. combined and has to be presented to you. But each financial statement is a separate one, and each one has its own auditor's opinion. So as such, I would be required to read out the auditor's opinion for each year. And it's a long audit opinion for each year, 2-3 pages. So with your permission, for some of them, we'll just take them briefly and read out only the relevant sections of the report so that we can save time. But before I do that, I would like to bring to your attention that we have qualified the financial statements for the past 4 years. And when we say we qualified financial statements, we usually call it modification. And the qualified is where you say that, okay, everything is fine, but one thing or two things or a number of other things. And where those things are so pervasive, you would disclaim the financial statements by stating that you are unable to issue opinion on that. But that is not the case here. However, your property, plant, and equipment, that's the old term we call it fixed assets. We have qualified on the basis of that. And we qualified on the basis of that because we are unable to take stock of all the assets of nuts across the country. And so because of that, we are unable to say that the assets are okay. Moreover, it's more on the completeness of the assets. So do we have some somewhere that we don't know of? And what is the value? We are unable to tell. And do we also have some that shouldn't have been there? And what is the value? We are unable to tell. And this dates way back. And because it's days way back, I think information has been a challenge. But then that cannot, as an auditor or as a professional, you will not be able to say that because there's no information, you just sign off because you're supposed to do a professional job. So, and that is what we have done, and we will continue to do that. And to be able to get out of that, it will require a comprehensive compilation of the assets of NAT across the country. And some of them, and also have values for them. I think for those new assets that NAT acquired for the past maybe 5, 6, 7 years, those ones at least they have records. But there are some dating back 20, 30 years, and we are unable to get records of that. So, and if you are going to do that, it will require significant amount of effort to go around and take stock of every single asset, compile it, get a professional, and also value them. And that also even bring its own accounting implications in terms of revaluation of fair value, of revaluation of assets. So that has been the basis for the qualification. Apart from that, all others have been okay. And then another thing that that one is more of accounting, is technical. When we talk of basis of preparation of the financial statements or financial reporting framework, this one we are using a special purpose. And all right, I can hear you. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? My brother, can you hear me now? But right now I can hear you saying yes. Anyway, sorry, my apologies for that.
Hello, I think.
Okay, all right. Hello? All right, great. Then it's the mic, not me. Thank God it's not part of the fixed assets. All right, so the basis of accounting is a special purpose, and we are not able to use a general purpose financial reporting framework. And a general purpose financial reporting framework would be like IFRS. And to put it in context for you to maybe appreciate it, let me come back to maybe your field, whereby you have a curriculum, right? And you can have a curriculum for maybe, let's say, SHS1. And it will be the same thing across the country. So anybody who is attending school in one particular location, you expect that they go through the same thing across. So if somebody says that, oh, I finished SHS1, you know that you have a reference point, which will be the curriculum. So it's the same thing with the financial reporting framework. And when we say IFRS, it's a general purpose financial reporting framework, which is across the world. If you say that you have audited your financial statements in accordance with what? IFRS, then they will know the basis, just like the way you know what would have gone into the curriculum. So because the standard requires that you cannot do some and leave some. When you are applying the standard, you have to apply it completely in its entirety. And to do that, it will require some changes in the way things are done at NAT. So, for example, each district, regional level, or wherever, the accounts have to be accounted for. And they have to be audited and even consolidated. And that is not really the current structure. So on the basis of that, we are using a different framework called a special purpose framework. We still satisfy your needs, but then it is not IFRS. So just to clarify that. And I think your own constitution also even requires that. It requires you to do that kind of accounting, but that is not the way it is at this point. So this is just some broader perspective I wanted to bring to your attention, so that when you hear qualified or wherever, you would not be alarmed to say that, oh, this, that. There's a reason for everything. So, Mr. President, I think having clarified that, I would now move ahead to read out the audit opinion for each year. Thank you. All right, so I will start with the 2021, which has the yellow, should I call it cover or bookmark? And for the 2021, may I please refer you to page number 5, where we have our auditor's opinion. And I will read. Independent Auditor's Report to the members of Ghana National Association of Teachers. Qualified opinion, which I have already provided context, and it is going to be the same thing across. We have audited the financial statements of Ghana National Association of Teachers, head office, which comprise the statements of financial position as at 31st August 2021, and the statements of comprehensive income, changes in equity, and cash flows for the year then ended. And the notes to the financial statements, which include summary of significant accounting policies and other explanatory notes, are set out on pages 8 to 42 for these particular accounts. In our opinion, except for the possible effects of the matters described in the basis for qualified opinion section of our report, the accompanying financial statements in the head office for the year ended 31st August 2021 are prepared in all material respects in accordance with the basis of accounting described in Note 2 to the financial statements. Basis for qualified opinion. The head office has property and equipment amounting to 59,675,224 as at the end of the year, and that end of the year will be August 31st, 2021. The balance comprised cost 83,093,908 and accumulated depreciation of 23,418,684. The head office does not maintain a fixed assets register that shows the nature of the individual assets and their corresponding costs and accumulated depreciation. We are therefore unable to confirm or verify the alternative, by alternative means, the carrying amount of the property and equipment and the statement of financial position, in the statement of the financial position, and the depreciation expense included, statement of comprehensive income, including the statement of comprehensive income. Consequently, we are unable to determine whether any adjustment to these amounts are necessary. Our opinion on the prior financial statements was qualified in respect of this same matter. We conducted our audit in accordance with international standards on auditing. Please, these ones we may please take as read. And the next paragraph, which is emphasis of matter, basis of accounting, and restriction of use and distribution. And again, this one, I try to explain it in terms of special purpose or general purpose. And because it's a special purpose, we are required by the standard to put this emphasis of matter just to draw the attention of the users of the financial statements. And that will be you know, to the fact that these things were prepared on special purpose basis. So may we please take that as read. Other information we can take as read, with your permission, Mr. President. And then and I'll draw your attention to the responsibilities of the National Council for the financial statements when it comes to the preparation of the financial statements. Equally, as auditors, we have responsibilities, and that one too can be found on the next page. And then may we please take those as read. And then I will come to the last section, the engagement partner on the audit. Resulting in this independent auditor's report is my good self, Labaran Amidu, with my license number as quoted there, signed for and on behalf of KPMG. KPMG license is also quoted there. Chartered Accountants, dated Chartered Accountants Accra, and dated 28th October 2022. So that brings me to the end of the 2021 report. And may we please move to the blue bookmark. And it's the same thing as before. The only thing that would change would be the figures. And please, with your permission, we could take that as read because it follows the same pattern. Nothing has really changed apart from the change in the dates as well as the figures of the PP, because every year there still continue to be what acquisition of fixed assets, and those ones they have records for. And like I indicated earlier, the major problem has been those dating back 20, 30, 40 years ago, which we are unable to really put together. So, and I will take that one, please, we can take as read, and that of the other subsequent years up to the 2024, may we please take those as read. And if you do have any question or you need any clarifications, please, I am ready to help. Yes, please.
Let me take a point of information. I don't know the information the member have.
Okay.
Please, you have the floor.
Thank you, the President. Please, I want to seek this information. With regards to Article 26, Clause 6D.
Article 26, Clause 6D. Yes, sir.
I think that's page 40 of the Constitution that I have here.
Article 26.
Yes, 26,
Okay.
6D.
40. Okay, I'm listening, honorable member.
Yeah. The duties of the National Treasurer.
Yes.
The Treasurer shall present financial statements and audited accounts of the National Secretariat to National Delegate Conference, National Council meetings, and National Executive Committee. Please, President, the information I'd like to seek here is the Honorable Auditor, is he presenting his opinion, after which the National Treasurer will present the statements to us, or he's playing the dual role? Thank you.
Thank you very much, honorable member. It's good you have asked. The auditor.
Please, Cornelius. Kunya is my name. Akachi Volta.
The auditor is not playing any dual role. You remember, I invited the National Treasurer. So the auditor's work here is to give us the firm's opinion. Then after that, the Treasurer will come back and we will do the deliberation. That has been the practice. So thank you for seeking that information. and I have provided responses accordingly. Is that not it? Thank you. Mr. Labran, let's make progress.
Right, thank you. I think, Mr. President, I think, like I said, the reports indicated that they follow the same pattern. If there are any clarification, which we could take as read, but if you want me to read them, I am okay to actually read each and every one of them. I don't know what you want.
Yes, so honorable members, based on the opinion from the auditor, if any member has any concern, submission, contribution on the opinion or the audit report, he is here to take those concerns and address them before the treasurer comes in, based on the 4-year audit reports. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. President, I'm standing alone though. I'm hearing rattling of English, but actually the point that my auditor is saying, I am not getting it.
Okay.
I don't know if it's because of his voice or something different. I am not getting it. Thank you, President.
So, Mr. Labran, take your time
Okay.
and speak the English one by one. Don't, we are in Accra.
All right.
So take us along, carry us along.
If you don't mind, I would like to stand
Yes,
here.
yes,
so
you can
that
even stand anywhere.
I can face him and then, okay.
Now, you stand in the middle so that at least.
All right. So I'm going to repeat again. And by the way, thank you. You know, sometimes you call it, you talk fast and then without knowing this, and so I apologize for that. So I'll take my time and go slowly and explain. But then I would like to state that this is a little bit technical, so I'll try to go deeper. That's why I was trying to use the scenario of the curriculum, you know, that will bring up the understanding to bear. Okay, I stated that the financial statements has been qualified, the opinion. And when we say we qualified, maybe I want to go to say technical. Okay, let's say I come into a room, let's say a classroom, and the teacher is supposed to dress decently, right? You have inspectors, isn't it, who come to inspect. The teacher is supposed to dress decently. There's supposed to be lighting in the room, right? There's supposed to be ventilation. There's supposed to be chairs and tables. And each student is supposed to be seated, not on the floor, but chair and a table. And each student is also supposed to have, maybe depending on the subject that you are teaching, let's say business management. I like business management, or I used to like it, so let me use that one as a scenario. And each one is supposed to have a textbook. Okay. The inspector comes in, the teacher is supposed to start teaching at 8 o'clock. And then maybe they have breaks or whatever. So now the inspector comes in at, let's say, maybe 7:55, just to make sure that the teacher will be on time. So, and let's assume that he would have a checklist. And then when the teacher arrives on time, then he will mark it. Coop, teacher has arrived on time. And then are the students seated? Yes. Everybody? Yes. Then he marks it. And then do they have their textbooks? Yes. Is the lights on? Okay, barring the normal ECG, lights off. Then you say yes, then you mark. And then, and let's also assume that maybe there's supposed to be a ratio of maybe gender balance. Assuming, putting it, just a scenario. So do you have a gender balance? Yes or no? If yes, you mark. If no, you mark. So at the end of the day, the supervisor is supposed to give an overall assessment of that inspection. So if everything is fine, the supervisor will say, everything is fine, no problem. But if there are areas that are not fine, the supervisor will not just say everything is not fine. He will say everything is fine, but either 1 or 2 or 3. And that is what we mean by what? Qualified opinion. So it's just like you have assets, which is property and equipment. you have cash, you have investment, you incur expenses, a whole lot of things. So based on our procedures, we say that everything is fine, but the property and equipment. Is it making sense now? Is it making sense? All right. So that is the first scenario. And what we are saying is that we are okay. And remember, our audit based on ISA, that is International Standards on Auditing, is not to, there are guidelines, rules that you need to follow. And you need to follow those rules to be able to come to a conclusion, which we have done. We have systems in place for that. So we say based on that, our opinion of the financial statement, the expenses, the way it's supposed to be is fine. Wherever it's supposed to be, all the other things are okay. But the property and equipment, that is the fixed assets. And I've given you the reason for that. First of all, and even in the opinion, we have put in details why it is not okay. Because you do not have a comprehensive list of your fixed assets. And if you do not have, as a professional, I can't just say that the figure there you have there is correct. It could be more, it could be less. Or even if the assets exist, or it could even be correct, but is the assets there? Maybe the asset is even demolished or is impaired. We call it impairment. Or something has happened to it for which you will not get the benefit out of it. And if you are not going to get the benefit out of it, you are supposed to bring down the value to zero. Are we able to tell that? No. And you cannot tell that if you don't have what? The complete list of what? The fixed assets. Do you get it? So that is the basis for that. So that is one aspect. Please, can you confirm whether this is clearer before I move to the second one? Please confirm. If I need to elaborate more, then I'll do that. Okay. My boss, please, the one who asked the question, are you okay? All right. Yes, please. Oh, sorry. I don't have the power to this. Mr. Presdo.
Yes, sir. Honorable member.
Thank you, Mr. President. I go by the name Ejenim Boateng. However, you can also call me Katechi, Ejusujabin, District Nat Treasurer. Mr. Auditor, classical case like this, where you have ascertained that the records are not there, but values have been provided. What is the sanction? That's my question.
Okay. Sorry, I don't do sanctions. My responsibility is to do what I've done and come to tell you that this is the case. And I'll tell you in our management letter, which we'll call, let's say, findings report. The findings report will provide further details and recommendations as to how to fix it. And when I was talking about it earlier, I did mention that to fix it, you will need to do a comprehensive compilation of your fixed assets across the country. And I can tell you that one too doesn't come cheap. You need to get professionals, you need to get engineers, whatever, depending on the type of assets that you have, to be able to do that, including accountants to be able to compile it. So for the sanctions, we will report it to you, and then the Board of Trustees will now have to come out with whatever that they need to do to be able to deal with that. So I have my limitations. So if you check even in the auditor's report, there's a place which clarifies or which clearly states my responsibility as the auditor, and then also the responsibilities of what? The board of the council, the board of trustees, right? So everything is classified. So my responsibility does not include sanctioning. I cannot be part of it. That is internal matter. Is it clear enough? Okay. So let me use the same scenario that I did about the classroom. You recall that, right? And then let's just say the scenario that I gave with the inspector, it is supposed to be the same thing across the country. Do we get it? And initially I used curriculum. Now I'm going to use that same classroom. So let's say you come to Tamale, my hometown, and then you go to the primary school that I went to, and then you have, or the SHS, sorry, that time it was secondary school, you have the same standard as you mentioned it, as I indicated. And then you go to Kumasi, maybe you go to one of the Kumasi, let's say Asawasi, and then you go to a secondary school, it's supposed to be the same thing standard. Anywhere you go throughout the country, it's supposed to be standard. So what it means that you have what? A uniform standard, right? Across the country. So anybody coming from any part of the country, that person would have gotten the same benefits or the same quality of education as any other person coming from the other side. Please, this is just a scenario. So let me put my caveat well. Okay, so the same thing when it comes to reporting framework. And when we say reporting framework, it is now about the figures. And to put it in simple terms is, okay, when something happens, how do you measure it and recognize it? Okay, different frameworks will have different ways of accounting for it. Okay, and when I use the curriculum for IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards, it is a global standard, which we call General Purpose Financial Reporting Framework. And when we say General Purpose Financial Reporting Framework, it means that if somebody says that their accounts has been audited in accordance with IFRS, anybody sitting somewhere, they will understand what it means. Do you get it? Regardless, anywhere in the world, because it's global. Okay. But if you say that, oh, I've done my audit, I've done my figures in accordance with what? Ghana accounting standards. It is no longer there anyway. I'm just using it as an example. Anybody who picks it up will know that, okay, there could be different ways of accounting for certain things. So they will now have to understand how it is done to be able to make sense of the financial statements. Do you get that? And what we're trying to say is that for IFRS, we have the standards are many, and you cannot comply with some and leave some out. No, you can't do that. And because of the PPE issue, right? No, it's not even because of the PPE. The PPE, regardless whether it is IFRS or any other account, because when the accounting of the figures, the expenditures, and what is happening at the districts, the regional levels, it is not done the way it's supposed to be done in accordance with what? IFRS. And also, if my memory sets me right, your own constitution, the small booklet that you read out. I've learned a lot from this environment for the past 4 years. So I have a degree now, learning from what the questions and things coming from you. So your own constitution is supposed to be accounted like the way maybe the IFRS would have required it, and even the Companies Act 992. But that is not the case. And to do that, it would be so much involving. You know, we would have to come to the regions, the districts, and audit all those figures, and every expenditure that you get, they will have to be accounted for and come to the head office. And then you will not see figures going to the districts. But let's say if you spend something on, let's say, maybe stationery, we now have to aggregate all the stationery spent across and show it as such. But currently, that is not the case. And that cannot be IFRS. So because of that, you can do something like modify it in such a way that it fits your purpose, like the way your structures are. And that is why we call what? Special purpose financial statements. And that is why in the emphasis of matter, remember we made reference to note 2, where it talks about what? Basis of preparation. And all of these things are legal terms that you need to be dealt with, that you need to make sure that you cover as part of your audit. And to do that, you will now be able to define the way you want it. So when we come to do that audit, we will now say that, okay, these are the things that you have defined. are you really following it, right? And that is what we have done. And in all of it, we said the only thing where there is a problem, not a problem, let me say a challenge, is the accounting of your fixed assets. That is all. Please, is it clear enough? All right. So if anybody needs, Mr. President.
On
more
point of
questions.
information, another point of information, so let me take the two and let me hear you.
Thank you, President Cornelius Cunha, representing teachers in Akachi District, Volta. Please, Mr. Auditor, I understand that your work, after you've gone through the statements, you advise. In 2021, your comments depicts that the head office refused to keep asset register. And I guess you advised on that. In the subsequent years, the refusal to keep asset register still persists. An honorable member asked, did you sanction? And you gave a reply. I want to understand that I am from Akachi District, where officers do come and peruse asset register. So if today your comment is telling us that there is no asset register, I'm a little bit bamboozled. So I just want to understand that what advice do you give and how do they comply with the advices that you do give after you peruse the yearly statement? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Brown, let me take this one so that you put the two together.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President, for this opportunity. Mine is linked to the sanction and what my brother just talked about. The information I want to provide is that the sanction that we are asking, it is the reason for which the auditors have qualified our account. So that alone is even enough sanction for the organization or for the association. Now, let us understand that the asset register we are talking about, it is not as if the head office doesn't have an asset register. What the auditors are saying is that we need to have records of our local, our district, our regional, all assets put together at the head office. This has become difficult because some of us inherited the district, the locals, and there were no records of such assets, even though we are aware that, oh, we have this building here, we have this plot of land here. And that is the issue we are talking about. So, colleagues, comrades, what we all have to do is when we go back to our various regions, our districts, our locals, we need to identify where we have not assets, get the data together, get it to the head office, and then we can put such records together and get valuers to now go around, do the valuation, then we can have a straight record where, going forward, our account will not be qualified on the basis of not keeping proper PPE register. Thank you.
Thank you, Salabran.
Yes, so my name is Amuzu Prince, representing the good people of Tano District. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the words out of my mouth. You have saved me some energy. Boss, are you okay? We didn't say that they don't have. If you read, we say that it is not complete. So we have seen some. And even when we started the audit, there were some we even identified that were not really part of the assets register. And as he alluded to, it has to come across. So for that, yes, thank you very much, Prince. Yes, please.
From what you have written here, Chairman, with your President, with your permission, let me kindly read what is here. I think that is the
Page.
Independent auditors reports.
Which year and which page?
Page, I think it's page 5.
Which year is that?
That is, even the year is not indicated here.
2020.
But I'm reading part of the
So
third paragraph.
2021.
Yeah, you can. I'm sure it will be the same thing. You can read.
Okay, read,
Yeah,
read.
so, yeah.
The head office does not maintain a fixed asset register that shows the nature of the individual assets and their corresponding costs and accumulated depreciation. We are therefore unable to confirm or verify by alternative depreciation expense.
Your mic is off.
It is not maintained
Please.
in their books.
Speak to the mic, yeah.
Thank you, President. The asset register is not kept. And from what you said, it makes you to be unable in ascertaining the aggregated depreciation. That is what you have stated. And if you go to the subsequent year, the same statement is repeated year by year. The same statement. That is why I'm concerned. After your work, you do advise.
Yes.
Okay, so General Secretary want to make a statement. So
Okay, all right.
Mr. President, I think that what I'm going to say will help all of us to appreciate.
point of order.
Point of
On,
order.
on who? The person has. The person is not standing. General Secretary, make progress.
Mr. President, Mr. President, I think I need to provide this explanation to help. I need to provide this explanation to help all of us appreciate where we're coming from. In 2019, when I came into office, I took my time. I want to know all the existing records, the files, and all that, what has been done, and how we can proceed. So in the course of checking, I did not see the records of the headquarters secretariat. I didn't see it. So I asked, where are the records regarding the assets we have at the headquarters? Mr. President, we couldn't find it. We couldn't find it. And so that triggered a lot of things. Now look, then we need to, if even at the headquarters we cannot find this particular thing, then we need to find out all our assets, where they are, what we can do about it. So we called Mr. Paul Osei because he is the longest serving General Secretary, and our predecessors, our previous leaders and fathers, we called them. And the point was that there was a box once upon a time that contained all these documents. And we started tracing the box. The box was nowhere to be found. And so it became necessary that we find a way out, that this time around we will get it right. So, Mr. President, in 2021, to satisfy ourselves, we constituted a committee under the leadership of the former General Secretary Paul Osei to help us, first and foremost, to identify all our assets, and also help us now put measures in place so that the requirement being asked by the KPMG, we can meet it. And we, as part of the arrangement, we entered into an agreement with the GCB PLC, formerly called the Ghana Commercial Bank. And we agreed with them that by the time I'll be leaving office, I don't want to write anything that we have. It is no. And all our fixed assets should be kept with GCB PLC. And so with that particular arrangement, we started going through the motion of looking for all the documents. When we need to go back to the Lands Commission and all that, we need to go and get them done. Mr. President, for the past 4 years, we have been tracing, we have been working on it. Thanks be to God, the headquarters secretariat now, which is located close to Adabraka, we have now gotten the document from the Lands Commission. Everything intact, we've gotten the document, and the document, that the headquarters document, is now deposited with GCB PLC. And so far, we have about 30 or so documents, including that of Abankro. We have been able to register it and deposited same with PLC, the Ashanti Regional Secretariat. When I was giving my intro on the first day, I mentioned the King's name, that the kind of assistance that the King has given us. We went to meet him. He signed all the documents for us, and all the documents there are with GCB PLC. In most of our meetings, I remember that we wrote to all the districts and the regions that furnish us. And I want to believe that some of you even saw our lawyers. Our lawyers went to, I don't want to tell you the kind of challenges we are even having with some of our own property across the districts and some other areas. I am not here to apportion blame to any person. The reason why we are in office is to solve problems. So thanks be to God, like I said, we are working on it. We might not be able to conclude now. Those who will take over, they also will have to continue, so that our fixed assets, henceforth, it will not be in the hands of an individual, but it will be with GCB PLC. So the day that I am exiting office, the predecessor who will be taking the person who will be taking over, I will only hold his hands together with the national officers and all those who have their signatures on it. We go to the bank. They will produce the register that we have so far, and then confirm whether all those documents are there. If they confirm and the incoming leadership check and everything is correct, we will all sign, indicating that we have handed over to a new generation to take over. So it is that particular motion and the processes that we are going through, that is what Mr. Labrant is talking about. We are asking here, regions and the district, we are asking for your support. If we all decide that by next year and we want to get it done, we can get it done together. We can get it done. As for the headquarters, regarding all the properties we've bought, technically speaking, we have been able to trace all the owner where we bought them and all that. We've traced them. We've gotten them, the Lands Commission, we are working with them. The former, what's the name? The TDC and all the places where we bought the houses, both the private owners and all that. Everything is on course. The challenge has been with some regions and the districts. So please, let's work together. Mr. President, the other one I want to comment on, it has to do with the special purpose. I remember quite clearly, Mr. Labrant gave me two options in 2020, 2021, where we are going to do that. Either that they will present an unaudited account to the council, or they present an audited account but qualified. And they qualified on the grounds of the special purpose. And he told me that per the accounting standards, like he has read to us, they will have to audit the headquarters account, audit that of the region, and audit that of the districts, and the monies that went to the locals. And I said, Mr. Labrant, what you are asking for, maybe we have to wait for the rapture to come. Because what you are asking for, maybe if I am wrong, please tell me. Because if KPMG is going to deal with the headquarters and also ask that all the grants, the donations and everything we have given to the regions, all the regions should come and account. Then after that, all the monies that are gone to the district, also they should all come and account. Then all the locals should come and account. I don't know when the audited, we can get an audited account to be read to council. And so in the interim, what we came to tell council was that what we can do is that in the interim, we should allow them to be working, what do you call it, auditing the accounts of the headquarters. So the monies that go to the region, the only thing is that they will have to confirm from all the bank transactions and independently go to the banks to go and check whether or not those monies have been transferred. So they will do all those things. But regarding the regions and the districts, we will all have to come to a common consensus and let us find a way out, because they will always say that the kind of standards used at the regions and the districts, they cannot go by it. They cannot go by it because they will have serious challenges with those ones. So, honorable members, we have challenge on our hands, and we all need to work together to get it done. Don't let us blame one person or no, we can't blame anybody. These are ancestral challenges that all of us need to work together to correct it as future generation. Our forefathers, that was what they could do, and they've done it. We are in today. What can we also do? Let us contribute our portion. When our time is up, we hand over. Let the future generation come to continue. God willing, I believe we will get there. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you. 1, 2. Three, 4. You have the floor, honorable member.
Thank you, Mr. President. Godwin Kalichi, Karachi West. The point of information I want to provide to this conference is on the last submission of General Secretary. Our Constitution, Article 36 downwards, talks about the administration of the resources or the finances of the union and how it should be audited. But currently, what we do is headquarters accounts audited separately, regions audited separately, districts audited separately, then districts appoint to audit locals also separately. But what KPMG is requesting from the union is that all local accounts should be given to them to audit, districts should be given to them to audit, region should be given, so they should audit from the down up to the top. And that makes it more complex. And that is what they are making more difficult for the union at headquarters to do. So currently, if we want to go by that process, ensuring that the auditing process starts by KPMG from the local through to headquarters, that will take days, as well as with the issue of the assets. All the assets from the local need to be seen and accounted for so that depreciation goes by it and accounted in the record. With this, that will take the challenge, and I'm sure that is what General Secretary is saying. It is not possible to be done now. Thank you.
Next person.
Mr. President, thank you for your eyes catching me this morning.
Please speak to the mic.
Mr. Auditor, when you look at the last sentence, page 6.
Page 6.
It reads, the National Council is responsible for overseeing the head office's financial reporting process. I want to know.
Please speak to the mic. We want to hear you.
I want to know from you if you have ever submitted management letter to the National Council through the officers and NEC on this particular issue. Number 2, looking at good corporate governance, audited report is always signed either by the CEO or board chairman or president. But looking at the signatures there, I'm not seeing anything like that. Why? 3, why the high fees on the auditing, especially the one that you just read? The figure there is too huge to my liking. Thank you.
Thank you. Next person.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Order.
Eric Edu-Jeffrey is the name. My friends call me Beruma. Mr. President, in line with General Secretary's submission, the target should be solving the problem. I was looking at, is it possible, not necessarily KPMG starting from the scratch, but getting other qualified auditors within the same pool that KPMG will agree with, can start from that place, then there will be share of information. If those information are shared upwards, I believe it can catalyze the reaction we want to do now so that we end faster. Thank you.
Point of information before you are allowed to.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I think that I wish to inform conference so that we can put our deliberations in perspective. Actually, what we are saying, technically, what we are saying is that KPMG has audited the income and expenditure accounts of the headquarters. There's no problem. However, KPMG is unable to ascertain the volleyball that Kukrentumi local has, the status of the volleyballs and their jersey. It needs a valuer to value the jersey and the volleyball and put a value on it. And then the office stationery, the computers, the building. Then they will move to Chebi Nat District. Do same with the land, everything, including pins in the office. It is not easy as we are saying. It calls for billions of dollars to do that exercise. So it's not that simple. So we should get the perspective right. It's not about income and expenditure only. Volleyball, spraying machine are all included. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Auditor, mine is a little observation that I want to put it across. I don't know. Looking at the account, 2021 on, you provided the balance, total balance of the fixed assets. That is page 5. Basic opinion. That's the basic for qualified opinion. The account, that's the first one. It said the head office has a property and equipment amounting to 59,675,224 cedis. Then it goes on and gives us the balance, and then the accumulated depreciation for 2021, 2022. But when it comes to 2023, 2024, we don't know the total balance as we stand here, and the accumulated depreciation as we stand. When we go to the 2024 one, what's accounted for that one too, if in your opinion?
Mr. Laboran.
It was not provided.
Right,
The questions on the floor and the
okay.
issues.
I tried to memorize well, I didn't have a pen with me, but I tried to memorize the questions. The question on the
Whether you provide
the signatories,
management and signatories and others.
So management letter, every year we'll provide management letter on our observations, the risk, and then recommendations, which we provide to management, that's the executive. And when we, in the subsequent years, we would go back to what our recommendations were and whether you implemented them or not. If you did, we'll verify and confirm and also include it in the management letter. If not, we'll still put it in the management letter. So the management letter is that over those years, they have been very comprehensive. So that is the response to that. On the question of the signatories, yes, I've mentioned corporate governance, which is good. But then corporate governance has to be looked at in the context of the operations. Every operation is unique. NAT is not a company. The way you operate is different. And those who sign the accounts, they can nominate. The board of trustees can nominate 2 people to sign it. So it shouldn't necessarily be the president or wherever. It's a matter of choice. As long as those who sign it are part of the board of trustees, as you have it as a national council member. So that is the case for that one. And it's a matter of choice. And then on the fee, I think if we are going to talk about the fee, I'm sure we can talk it even for 5 days without finishing. And I will be able to prove to you that this fee is even not enough. So for now, I'm going to skip that one because it will require time. And when we finish that, the time that I spend on that, I'll bill you for you to pay me for that one. That was just on a lighter note. Yeah, but the fee we believe is realistic. Yeah. Mr. President.
I think, members, we have had. Yes, sir. I think I should take the last submission so that we'll take the motion on the. I think this side, I'm not seeing you because of this stand.
Reverend. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I asked a question about the total assets that we have now, the price. But it seems it has not.
No, I'm coming to that. I just finished this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you check the financial statements, the PPE note, if you wouldn't mind, I just want to point to you where the PPE note is. Which one were you looking at? 2021, right? Or which one were you comparing with, please?
I said, when you look at the 2021 and 2022, you have provided the cost of the assets, and then you provided the total balance plus that of the accumulated depreciation for 2021, 2022. But when it comes to 2023 and 2024, only the cost has been provided without the total balance and then the total accumulation. So as we stand here, what is the total balance of assets do we have, and then the total accumulation of depreciation? Accumulated depreciation.
All right. So the way you present it is a matter of choice. And if you check that statement, as you have it in the 2024, we did state, having stated the gross amount. So we said the head of it does not maintain individual assets, blah, 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 and their corresponding costs and accumulated. As a result, we are unable to satisfy ourselves concerning existing accuracy and completeness of provided equipment. But then if you go to the note in the financial statements, note 11, you will see all the details there. The cost and then accumulated depreciation. So the 81 million is a net of the two. So the information is still in the financial statements, and when you go to the note, you get all the details. So when it comes to specifying those things, it's a matter of, it is at our own discretion, the way you want to do it. The most important thing is to bring out this. I could have easily even referred to the what? Reference it to the note and state the amount. So, but thank you for that anyway. Are you satisfied? Because there's nothing wrong with that, the way it is presented. It is still complying with the standards. Yep.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. So I come through page 55 of the Constitution, chapter 3, article 35. Revenue of the association. 35, yeah, okay. Revenue of the association. I think that the qualifying of our accounts, we are always looking at one leg. There are two legs. One is the asset register, and this is the Constitution. It talks about revenue. But I realize that our accounts and our statement is income and expenditure. But the total revenue is stated here. And I think that is from A to F. Talks about even levies at the local level, district level, regional level. And until this is cured, we will still have our accounts always qualified. So I think that, Mr. President, your high office, we need to look at it through the Constitutional Amendment Committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The final point of information, then I can now invite the treasurer.
Thank you, Mr. President. I remain Renfred Winfred of Kosimin Team Local, Western Region, Second Takradi. My question, I am not satisfied with the answer when it comes to the letter. You are saying you served the executives. Please, did you copy the National Council as the conveners? That is what I want to know. Because they bring us the report, not the executives. So if you give the letter to the executives and the councillors don't have a copy, how then do they do the corrections if there's any? Thank you.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Maybe he also came on point of information, so let me take so that
okay.
After that we are done with.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am not certified, and I want to come on this point of information to seek.
Speak loud, please.
My name is Eric Musi, Metro NAT Chairman for Shama and Teis. I'm also coming on the point of information to seek from our auditor to give us in connection with the auditor's fee, as he made mention of. You know, ICAC have a procedure. For instance, they can decide to come out with the auditor's fee based on the number of staff that you are having, then other things. So if you tell us that you are going to take 5 years or 5 hours, I don't agree with you. Thank you.
Sorry, that was just on a lighter note, and I did mention that specifically, just to for the purposes of that. So just for the record, no, that was just on a lighter note. Yeah. So on the management ladder, just like the financial statements, for example, you know, we, after it has been signed and all other documents, we present it to them, right? And then they will now, yeah. So at this point, I think we have finished our part on that. So maybe the executives will provide response to the other side. And on the fee, I mean, I actually wanted to talk more about it, but I was also conscious of time. Usually, the way we determine audit fee is a combination of a number of factors. One is the time and effort required to do the audit. And then secondly, the complexities involved in the audit itself. Sometimes you will have certain things, for example, that will require certain specialties. So for example, if you look at the actuarial valuation that you have here, you certainly need an actuary. And to get that actuary, we have to pay for that because we are not actuaries. So you get a specialist to provide that kind of basis for you to be able to rely on that information. So this is just an example of one situation whereby you look at the complexities of such situation. And then if you talk of the PPE, for example, the one that we have just mentioned, if we were to go around and do that compilation, you will need valuers. We are not professional valuers. We will have to get valuers to be part of the work so that they can do an independent work and also report to us for us to be able to provide, you know, basis for the figures that will be in the financial statement. And they all get factored into the cost. PPE, I've used it as an example. But the major thing here is the fee of the fee that you have here is the time and effort and then the hours that have been taken. And of course, it also depends on the records, the nature of your record. Sometimes you need to spend more time to be able to actually bring out a number of things to conclude on your audit. So these are the basis. And I would like to state that we have our charge out rates, which you multiply by the hours. And what you have here is even a discounted one. Yeah. It's quite discounted. You know, I can tell you the audit is expensive. Yeah, it's quite involving, and in all of this is because you have to meet the requirements of the standards. And then also keep in mind that NAT is not a small organization. Yeah, you may think that you are small, but I'm sorry, you are not. It's a big organization, yeah. And it doesn't mean that the size is what is driving the distance, because size comes with what? Complexities, activities, and a whole lot of reconciliations. So for example, if you look at your investment, you have a lot of money sitting in investment. and it requires a lot of reconciliation throughout the year. No, I didn't say that, please. I'm just telling you, giving you context with respect to the volume of some of these transactions. Yeah.
Thank you very much,
All right.
Mr. Laboran.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Members, I believe the external auditor has given us explanation to the opinion and the report. So I'll now invite the National Treasurer to take over, and then if you have something to say, then finally he table a motion to enable the House to adopt the audit reports for the 4-year. Treasurer, you have the floor now. But before that, I saw a point of information.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mine was on the auditors. I don't know whether it is how to put it. The speech he gave us. Actually, to me, I know auditors do their work. They hand over the report to the treasurer. Then the treasurer will now give us a feedback. But per all what transpired, I don't know. It's like we have been educated.
Sorry, come again.
I was saying that with the way the proceeding went with regard to the auditor addressing us, the treasurer is there. I know the council attracted the auditor to come and do the auditing. Then they will give us the feedback. Then based on that feedback, that is what you give to us. Then we ascertain the solutions and what we are supposed to do. But per what went on with all what the auditor talked about to us, I don't know what we are picking from it. So I'm suggesting that please, when the auditors finish and they give us a report, let's go with the report that we have. Then we know how to go by it, whether we need to make amends or we need to maintain whatever they have for us. Thank you.
Yes, so Honorable Member, we have two issues here. You see, the report is made up of statements of account and audit reports. And it is the National Council under our Constitution that approves the budget for every year. So here, conference is not going to approve a budget. We are looking at the 4-year, the report from the auditors or auditor. And once, even though the National Treasurer is here, it is very important for the auditor or the audit firm to be present at conference to answer all questions, because that is your report. That is why we brought him here. And this is not the first time that an external auditor is appearing before conference. Every conference, even at your level, the auditors must be there, because the report does not belong to the National Treasurer or any group of people. It belongs to a company. And the person who contracted must be at the conference to respond to answers. So that is why I allow the auditor to give the responses. So member, don't worry. Master, Chairman, let me listen to you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think you have touched on the last speakers because per the corporate governance structure, every year the accounts are audited, auditors' reports are read, the accounts are presented. It is only that because this is conference and we meet every 4 years, that is why we are even seeing all the 4-year activity brought to us. But technically, all these are information we are only taking.
Yes.
Because year on, the accounts have been worked on and they have been either certified or not based on the auditor's opinion. Now, a member asks why the auditor doesn't bring the management report to council. That is the information I want to talk a bit about. You see, when it comes to management letter, there are people we have employed to work. So when auditors do their work and they have some observations, that letter is presented to management to work on them. So normally, even before the audit report comes out, management would have, based on the management letter, done a lot of corrections, done a lot of reconciliations before the auditor finally issues his or her report. So that letter need not to come to council, because council is not the body managing the day-to-day affairs of the organization. So that information I wanted to provide. Thank you. Amuzu Tano, Chairman.
So, Mr. President, normally when you come, with the greatest of respect, when you come to conference like this, the council members, they are somehow limited because they are the conveners of the conference. But I want to commend them. I want to commend the National Council. Commend them because when the issues that we are discussing here lightly like that, if it has been a council meeting, it could have been fireworks. Why? Because they would demand answers for everything, what really went wrong, what really happened, what must be done. And so all the things you see us reporting here, they have done it. Going to the PLC to make sure that all the issues that our auditors have indicated to get them corrected, it is their initiative and it is their handiwork. And so we commend them. And I believe that all the additions that are coming on, council is taking note of them. And the early part of this year, they will meet again. Then latter part of this year, there will be another meeting. I think councillors understand what I'm talking about. And all your concerns, all the other concerns that are coming up, council will certainly deal with it decisively. So, Mr. President, once again, I commend the National Council members for the good work they are doing for and on behalf of teachers in Ghana. Thank you very much, and God bless us all. Thank you.
Mr. Treasurer, over to you now.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, conference. Two things before I take the motion. The first one, about the issue of the treasurer perhaps assuming, in quote, the role of the auditor cannot be. We are a union. From all the levels, we get treasurers elected. And the competencies of some of our treasurers, we all know. Not at any level, the local, district, region, or national, can we compare ourselves with the auditors, our external auditors, and be able to speak to everything that they have in their audit report. The reason why the auditors had to come to support us, at least if they had gone through the books, we have given our PVs and everything to them to look at, and they come out with their opinion. It is just important that we save the heads of our treasurers, we save the heads of our district chairman, our local chairman, our regional chairman, because sometimes when it comes, because you are at the high table, you have to explain to the people that are before you. And if the treasurer can't do it, they will come to you, the chairman, to try to give an explanation. But to save ourselves all this, once we have qualified auditors doing the work for us, they should assist when it comes to the audit aspect, so that the other aspect will be able to speak to it. That's number one. Number two, yes, we have all been informed today that our plant and equipment, PPEs, the reason why our accounts are qualified, there was an issue raised concerning revenue and the amount that we declare, that is the dues and a few incomes that we get, other than the larger income that is out there that we are unable to access. It is important that all of us, as per the call of the General Secretary and some of the honorable members of this House, that we all put our hands together to ensure that we get the assets or the least comprehensive one for the union going forward. Like they said, we are passing through. Some of us will also be out of here. But one day, if we have a comprehensive list and the right things are done, I believe that our account will not be qualified. On that note, Mr. President, I, Ransford Kofi Nsianloli, having presented the annual report and financial statement to conference for 2021 to 2024, I move that the statement be adopted by the House. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Motion duly moved. Any second? I'm mindful of gender balance. So, Madam. Nahima. Madam, are you a queen?
Yes, please.
Okay. And you are a delegate as well?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm Mr. Naomi from Bole District. Yeah, and as in Northern Region, I stand to second the motion. Thank you.
Motion duly moved and duly seconded. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Thank you very much, Mr. Treasurer. You are accordingly discharged. I now invite the Conference Report Committee Chair. Report Committee Chair. I understand is the Western Regional Chairman. Western Regional Chairman. Where is the Western Regional Chairman and your committee? Mr. Obeng Yameche, where are the committee members? Please, committee members, kindly come up. Come up, come up, come up. Committee members. Committee members. Conference Report Committee members. Come up, come up, come up. And let's call the chairman wherever he is to. Whilst we are waiting, Honorable Member, your name, Kwabi Samuel Oku, your ID cards are with me, particularly the Ghana card is very important. So I know Kwabi is coming from Greater Accra, right? Yes, so Kwabi, your cards are with me, including your ATM card as well. So you have two important cards with me, Ghana card and ATM card. It's very important assets. Don't let us qualify your account. Kwabi, are you around? Okay. So, Mr. Treasurer, you. Conference Report Committee, if you are done, come and introduce your members and let's proceed. Yeah, Chairman. Yes, so committee members, you introduce yourself and then the members and then let us proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Good morning, conference. I stand on behalf of our chairman to present to conference the conference report. I am Felix Akumenin, a member of the committee. Behind me are all the conference committee report members. We are here to present the conference report to members. The names of the members can be found in XIX. So we indulge members to go to that page to see members of the conference. Again, we want to draw attention that certain corrections were also identified in the document, and we want to draw members' attention to those pages so that we can take them through. The Secretariat will make sure copies are provided to members on those corrections. In order not to take much of the time, we want to say that the document, as has been provided to us, have areas which already conference have digested and have made input to them. We have list of conference members also in it. Conference constitutional amendment that was proposed and conference has already worked on them. Resolutions that has been provided, and as we all saw yesterday, we worked up to a certain point and Mr. President has to defer it to today, which we know we are going to take care of that. We also have reports that came from the regions, also in the conference report. Then we have report from the headquarters, also provided in the conference report. The program for events as we are going through here are all provided in our report. Mr. President, we want to state that since the document has been with us for quite a longer time, we take it as read. And we therefore will present to conference for further deliberations and discussions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Conference Report Committee. So I now come to the House. We've heard from the committee. Corrections identified, issues that have been discussed, conference members in the reports, and what have you. So now, if members have any reservation, concern, questions, suggestions, the floor is now open on conference reports. Any matter of interest? Or we take it that we are all okay with the reports? All right, then on that note, Honorable Member, please, can you put the motion? Okay, I've seen one hand there. Please, it's, okay, please, can I receive, table the motion?
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
With all the areas in the conference document that has been discussed and further to be discussed, corrections indicated and made, I move a motion that the conference document be accepted for our use. I so move, Mr. President.
Motion duly move in the seconder. Oh, also sometimes seconder. Madam at the back. Madam, please, are you a delegate? Okay.
So I am Olivia Arthur, Greater Accra Region, Central Local Chair. I duly second the motion.
Thank you very much. So motion on the conference report duly moved and duly seconded. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Members, just give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I want to engage all regional chairmen. All regional chairmen. The high table want to engage all regional chairmen. So we'll take musical interlude within the 5 minutes. Nobody should go out. I'll get back to you. Oh, please, you are accordingly discharged.
Thank you very much.
You're accordingly discharged. Yes. So please, regional chairman, kindly come up quickly. Regional chairman, military band, give us something cool, okay? But you're not there. Then technician, give us something.